first thing you're going to want to do, here's your basic setup. You've got to zoom here, in and out. You can also do Control minus, Control plus. You guys are all on your Chromebooks. All right. First thing I want to do is I want to go to my file settings. I want to change this to inches. And then I want to go to pages. And I'm going to put this at 12. And I'm going to unlock this because I don't want it 12 by 12. And I'm going to do 15. So 12 by 15 will be the size that we're going to do. Okay. And I'm going to hit return. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And you'll kind of see what I got. The only thing I don't like about this is it's really difficult to see this line. Makes it really hard to see. But that's okay. We'll deal. So basically now it's just like Illustrator. All right. You've got layers so that everything you create is a layer. You might have somebody trying to get in, so hold on 2 seconds. Let's see. Nope, everybody's in. Okay, good. All right. So where was I? All right, so your layers. Anything you draw, okay, will turn into a layer, which is kind of nice. You've got your background color, which is actually your fill color. All right, so you can change this any which way you want. You'll see that this is actually really easy. I found it really easy. And then you've got your border color or your stroke, and you can pick that whatever you want. To change your border size, it's right here. Okay, boom, 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 boom. All right, and you can actually do like 0.02. All right, and then I'm finding that sometimes when I change this, I know it goes by inches, so you can actually change your settings back to points, and that might help with this. So you can see the difference all of a sudden now, okay? So that's how you change your border. That's how you change your background or your fill color. You can add a shadow, an inset shadow. You can change the opacity. So I can check this right here, and that'll add my opacity control, and I can scale it down, all right? Nothing crazy there. I can also just delete it. So you've got square, or a rectangle, rounded rectangle, and an ellipse. Just like in Illustrator, you hold the Shift key to create a perfect circle. You can move it around. You'll notice it creates another layer. Again, here's my fill color. Let me pick a color here. Let me give it a border, and we want it to be 8 point. Okay? So that's kind of the basic shape aspect, which is kind of easy. Then you've got the pen tool, which works the same way as the Illustrator pen tool. So I can click, and notice my points are gigantic. So let me change this down again. All right. And the cool thing is I can actually double click on the object. And when I'm inside here, I can add points right from in here just by clicking. And if you remember right, this is kind of like using the direct selection tool in Illustrator. Then I can click on that point, and I can change the shape of this object pretty simply, which is kind of cool. I can click out here and get out of it. I can move it around, or I can delete it. Okay? So the pen tool works the same way. You can also click and hold and create an arc. All right? And again, just double click inside your object, and you can add points. All right? And then I can click, and I can hold, and I can move them around. So it works very similar to Illustrator. It's kind of, like I said, a dumbed-down version of Illustrator. So I'm going to just click on this and delete it. All right, and if you make multiple objects, so if I make a circle here and then a circle here, I have found that you have to re-click the tool, otherwise, as you saw, it just goes right into the Move tool. Let me just make this a different color. If I want to put this one behind it, all I have to do is take this and drag it like this up here in my Layers panel. So that's kind of nice. I find that to be sort of interesting. You can go through. You can also just double-click and name them so you can see which one's what. Okay? So that's the shape tools. All right, then you've got the pen tool, and you've got the pencil tool. The pencil tool is a drawing tool, just like anything else. Now, what's kind of nice is if you do this, just like in Illustrator, if I add a background color, all right, let me do a light background color, all right, it closes it. So what I can do is I can zoom in on this. I can double-click on the object, and then with the pencil tool, I have all these points. So I can grab my pencil tool again, double-click, and I can actually click on a point and then complete it, all right, which is kind of nice. So if I have a shape that I'm done with, so if I draw a shape, I can go right in here, all right, and connect it this way, all right, or I can grab my pencil tool and I can draw right to it. So the double click will get you there, which is kind of nice, and you can see I can sort of go through and connect my points, which is really nice if you're sort of a sketch drawer. All right. So you got the pencil tool, you've got the pen tool, you've got your shape tools. They all function just like Illustrator does, which is really nice. You've also got type tools here. I was really happily surprised at the size of the fonts that you get to use. So let me get my object selected here. You can go in and you can see all the different selections you get, which is really nice. So I can go here and I have a ton of fonts. I was, like I said, really impressed with the number of fonts that they had. And then you've got your font size. All right, so I can bump this up. Also, you can just grab the object here. So I can take the type and I can pull this thing right here, my little anchor, and I can scale it that way, which is really cool. All right, so I can delete this. Again, here's your type tool. All right, and you select on it. Oop, I rotated it. All right, there's my anchor point. I can make it up here, and I have all my settings over here. All right, so you can play with that if you decide to add text in. All right. Now, as far as bringing an image in, so you want to upload an image into this so that you can draw on it, right? That's what we did in class. So you've got an upload image here. Now, I have found when you click on upload image, sometimes this gets a little wonky. So I'll click on my image I want to upload, and I'll notice sometimes it doesn't show up. I haven't quite figured out why. I don't know if it's because it's a PNG file. Maybe JPEGs work better. But I have found that you can simply just take the image and drag and drop it right in. All right. Now, you'll notice I can just label this flower. And so I can scale this up, and I can maybe add an opacity to it. Oop. All right. And then I can begin to draw on top of it, which is nice. All right. So if you plan on bringing an image in to help you kind of draw, that's how you would do it. You can then also, just like in Illustrator, you can hide the flower. Okay. Or the image that you have. All right. I can grab everything and delete it. Now, when you're creating, all right, let's say this is my fantastic, wonderful t-shirt. This back arrow up here gets me back to my profile. It automatically saves. So there's that image right there. And you can double click right here and just call it whatever you want. All right, and then you can go back to it and open it up. But that allows you to kind of have the ability to, like if you're working on something and you want to leave or you need to save it, or you want to get out of there for a second, that you have it. If you don't start an account, you can't do that, which you don't want to kind of do this all in one fair swoop. And then you can log out here. All right. Now, as far as saving it so that you can hand it in to me today to get some feedback, all that you're going to do with that is really simple. You're going to go right here to export. You're going to choose PNG. And then with this open, all you're going to do is just click and hold and drag it right to your desktop. And that's the file you're going to attach. You can also, as it says, right click, okay, and save it to your desktop as well. All right. This image, if you opened it up, it's any type of preview, you're going to notice it's black here. You want that. That's because it's translucent, so you can see through it. That's what we want when we print it on the direct-to-garment machine. Okay? But that's basically how you're going to do that. I have a video on that as well, all right, so that you can kind of figure out how